Let's talk about anemia. Does that cause people to feel tired?
Oh, yes, that's a classic one. Anemia is when your blood counts are low, your red blood cells, and you need red blood cells to get oxygen to the other cells and organs in your body. And if you don't have enough red blood cells, you're just going to feel pooped.
So when you see somebody with low red blood cells, what are those on the blood test? What do you call those?
Hemoglobin, hematocrit, those are the classic things we look at.
So if they're low and you have to find out the causes, what are common causes in adults?
Sure. So when the red blood cell count is low, it's usually either because people are losing blood somewhere or they're not making it in some fashion. It's typically one of those two things.
So you can look at a blood count and sort of tell if somebody's losing it by looking at red blood cells?
Maybe. What you really see, though, is the blood count is low. And if their cells are a certain size, if they're small, that might say the iron level's low, and that's a key that they might be losing blood somewhere. So we're always interested in whether there's blood in the bowel, in the gut, for example.
So it's not just simple low blood count, give them some blood or iron, you got to figure out where it's coming from.
Exactly.
And there are lots and lots of causes. From an anemia standpoint, the symptoms they get are what? Other than being tired because they don't have oxygen carried around to the rest of the body, what symptoms?
Primarily fatigue. They might get to, if their iron level's low enough, they might get to the point where they're chewing on ice. That's called pica. And pregnant women, for example, oftentimes will see that with recurring pregnancies, for example.
People get short of breath?
Oh, short of breath? Absolutely.
What do they look like if
And
they're anemic?
They'll look pale. They'll get a little pallor around their mouth and lips and in the conjunctiva of the eyes.